Thank you for staying with us on the AM show. On the last leg, we're going to have an exciting conversation as well with Professor Ransford Gyampo, political science lecturer, University Don, if you like. It has to do with developments bordering on Albert Kandapa, National Security Minister, and his comments that, well, technically, justices of the higher courts, or the courts, so to speak, should not lean or be seen leaning in a certain direction, even if it has to do with his own administration, because it creates a certain perception. He's been taken on by some in the political setup, including the likes of Aikwe Otu, who is one of the legal brains in the NPP. But there are others who disagree. We've heard from the likes of Colonel retired Gbevulu Lati. But let's hear from Professor Ransford Gyampo, who also has his take on this bit. Now, Prof, thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Great. You have said that the judicial oath is not, a godly oath. It is not as though you were bound to something in the Bible or the Quran. Can you expatiate on your thinking in respect of this? Because justices of the court are supposed to read what a case has brought per the law and deliver a verdict.
Well, I was a bit taken aback when I saw some senior lawyers saying that judges are always bound by the oath of office that they take. And so, to that extent, nobody can insinuate or imagine that they may do things that are untoward. And I said, you see, these are human beings. And so even if they take oath, the oaths that they take are not biblical or Quranic injunctions. Even biblical and Quranic injunctions, religious adherents are not able to stick to them. And so you would be believing like an ostrich if you think or if you argue that simply because some people have taken oaths, they would always do things that are right. You may just be not a serious-minded person, and you may not be analytically astute in trying to unravel or interrogate problems that may have been raised. Take note of this. So in my post, I've said that it is either the few very professional but politically hawkish people who have criticized Kandapa in his caution to the judges. It is either they are being too partisan or completely they do not know what they are talking about in their critique of what Kandapa candidly said and then his candor in his interaction with the judges. So I've said that it is true. Judicial oaths are not godly orders. They are not biblical or Quranic injunctions that are even flouted with impunity by religious adherents. They are sworn and can be broken by the very fallible mortals who serve the bench and the bar. So it is a fact. Let us admit it is a fact that there are some great independent-minded judges in Ghana, but we cannot pretend or suddenly be afraid to point out quite frankly and without mentioning words that clearly there are some Ghanaians who are also losing confidence in the judiciary, and this is a major national security threat. They are losing confidence in the judiciary.
What do you think? What do you think is causing that loss of confidence?
The unanimity with which every decision that they take, bordering on the state and other parties that come before them, the unanimity with which they decide on those matters. And I keep asking myself, we don't know. Maybe those cases may not have been reported. But the point is, virtually every now and then that some people from the other side have issues that would have to be fought with the state or with the defendant being those in power, those in the other side will lose. And when they lose, the verdict that always comes is unanimous. And it may well be true that they always have bad faith. It may well be true that they are not sensible enough to put out strong defense or strong cases before the judges. It may well be true that the judges are always right. But the point is this. Justice must not only be done. Justice must also be perceived to be done. So you do not have to create, the unanimity with which they take their decisions in favor of the ruling party creates an impression. It may be erroneous, but it creates an impression that, look, something untoward is happening. And when that happens, I know people, I don't know, you are a journalist, you may want to speak to people too and see. But I have spoken to so many people who are resolved that, look, given the way things are going, we would not be thinking about taking our matters to court. Some people have taken their matters to court and they were able to foretell the outcome of the process. And I'm saying that if this thing is not checked, it creates a serious national security problem.
But Prof, the judges cannot rule on political lines. They cannot toe political lines. And at the same time, they must only operate with the facts that they have available. They are constrained.
No, that is not the case. That is not responsible judicial, how do I put it? If you say that they must always follow what the law states, legalism, then there are instances. It makes the judiciary irresponsible. Because there have been instances in other countries where judges, and even in this country, where judges have stuck to only what the law says, and their repercussion, the socio-political repercussion, had been bizarre. And so the point is that, yes, you must look at what, if you ask the judges and you ask the lawyers and the law students, they will tell you there are two schools of thought, judicial activism and judicial restraint. Those who favor judicial restraint say that always stick to what the law says. But there are also justices or legal luminaries who also believe that even as you stick to what the law says, you must also practice or entertain or have room for judicial activism, where you look at also common sense and the implications of your overly legalistic pursuit of the law. Because, look, you may follow strictly the law to do something, and then the socio-political backlash will be such that tomorrow you cannot have the opportunity to sit as a judge. And so the point is, why do we always say, is it always the case that every time that a case is brought before the judge between the ruling party and those in opposition, every now and then the ruling party has a strong case. Every now and then the opposition has a very bogus case. Can it always be so? So why can't some of the judges also try in an attempt to ensure or you create that impression that, we are not so biased? Why don't they also look at the facts of the matter and give at least a majority decision?
Right.
But always you are unanimously deciding in favor of them. And let me tell you, Kandapa is not a small boy in Ghana's politics. He is the National Security Minister. He is privy to information that those who are criticizing him do not know. He knows information that even the judges, the justices of the Supreme Court, they don't know. And so if he is telling them that, this and this, when Kandapa goes to sleep, we would all be in danger. He employs people and he knows where he gets his information as a security minister. And so if he is coming out to say some of these things, he knows what he's talking about.
Okay, so Prof,
it is not up to political hawkish people to take issues with him. You see, we must not offer partisan defenses and partisan oppositions to everything.
Right.
There should be an elite consensus on some of these things beyond which we would agree. Elite consensus on some of these things that we would agree not to disagree over. Because this is national security matter.
So
if
Prof,
we don't take care and people decide that, we will go to court again, we'll take matter into our own hands, there will be implosion, there will be chaos.
So just give me a yes or no answer. So basically, you want the judicial system to hearken to what Kandapa is saying. They should listen to him and apply his wisdom.
Well, he's giving them a wise answer, and I am of the view that he's a national security minister. He knows what he's talking about. He's privy to information that they themselves may not even know.
So should they listen to him? Should they listen to him?
He said, don't always, if you always are seen to ruling in our favor, there will be chaos.
Okay.
And so the point is that he should be listened to.
Okay. Prof, we're really grateful that you took the time to join us, share your thoughts with us this morning. Professor Ransford Gyampo, who is with the Political Science Department at the University of Ghana. As we wrap the conversation, we know water is life. Water regulates your body temperature and keeps you alive and kicking. Awake is premium purified water treated through a strict purification process to ensure that every bottle on the market refreshes you better. We have the perfect sizes for all occasions. 330 ml, 500 ml bottles to fit your pockets and bags, 750 ml for the heavy drinkers, and 1.5 liters for those who always want more. But there's more. We have introduced our special 19-liter jars for offices and homes. Now, you just need to stay awake with Awake Purified Drinking Water wherever you go. Come on, grab a bottle of Awake Water and get quality hydration. Awake Purified Drinking Water, one for life. Also remember, for every bottle you purchase, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. Awake is produced by Casa Preco. For bulk purchases, please call 0262 351 251, 0262 351 251. And maybe to wrap the conversation now, did you know the income of a young entrepreneur from some selected businesses is exempt from tax for 5 years? Any young entrepreneur engaged in a host of activities: manufacturing, information and communications technology, agro-processing, energy production, waste processing, tourism and the creative arts, horticulture and medicinal plants, does not need to pay any income tax on these activities for their first 5 years of operation. Here's the breakdown. If you are engaged in business that enjoys an initial 5-year concession, you benefit from the following applicable tax rates for an additional 5 years. Accra and Tema 15%, other regional capitals outside the 3 northern regions 12.5%, outside the other regional capitals 10%, and in the 3 northern regions 5%. For further clarity, just interact with the GRA, and of course they will answer all the questions you have. Ghana Revenue Authority, integrity, fairness, and service. My name is Benjamin Akakpo. Thank you so much for joining the conversation with us this morning. Happy birthday once more to Anastasia Edu. That's how we wrap it up. Catch me again on JoyNews Desk at 10.